Hey, Nate Dickinson here with Locked On Big Ten. So Michigan just destroyed Purdue. Final score 82-58. Michigan scores 44 points in the second half to follow 38 in the first and just ran away with this one late. Hunter Dickinson finishes with 22. He was 4 of 6 from behind the arc. If you watched this one, it was obvious Michigan just had its night here, and they said it on the broadcast. Even if you thought the Wolverines were going to win, it was not this that you thought was going to happen. Again, Dickinson with 22, Diabate with 15, Houston with 14, Brooks ends up with 18. Everybody in the Michigan starting lineup at double digits. Meanwhile, only 3 players even get double digits for Purdue, but also even get to more than 5 points for the Boilermakers. It was 18 for Ivy, 10 for Edey, 12 for Travion Williams. Nobody else did anything, and again, a 58-point effort for Purdue. Michigan not only beat the number 3 team in the country here, absolutely demolished them. In my opinion, made a big statement. And on a day where, if you follow what Joe Lunardi does with the stuff that he tweets out every day, Michigan had taken off of the graphic of the bubble entirely. I think they just forced themselves back into this conversation with a huge win here today. I've said this throughout the start of the season with Michigan's struggles. I've made this comparison, and with this huge win here today, I feel like we have to officially start the kind of conversation, at least if you're a Michigan fan, about the hopes of the talent on this team. I want to go back to just the 2013-2014 Kentucky Wildcats for a minute. Stay with me here. That team was number 1 preseason. Had the highest of high hopes, of course, as every John Calipari team in that era did. It struggles, does really, really rough in the middle parts of the season, makes the NCAA Tournament after going 12-6 in the SEC. Now that team finished 29-11, so it wasn't exactly the same case as Michigan here. But that team made the tournament as an 8 seed. Ends up going all the way to the national championship game because the talent was always there. The talent's always been there with this Michigan team. I'm not saying it's that Kentucky team, but I'm saying that when you're going through and trying to find teams who can make a run, this Michigan team is obvious. It's something I've been saying on Locked On Big Ten forever here, that if Michigan gets into a situation where anything's even close on Selection Sunday, everyone's going to want to see the Wolverines in that field of 68. And if they get a crack at it, we saw here tonight what Michigan can do with that kind of an opportunity. 82-58 against the team that up until tonight I would have said was easily the most talented and most impressive looking team in the Big Ten. I don't know, maybe I have to reevaluate now because the Michigan Wolverines just absolutely blew them off the court and I think put themselves back at least into the conversation for this NCAA tournament. This team's above 500 in the Big Ten. It's holding its own against, obviously, what is now huge competition it's got to win against. I don't see a way that you can't at least be spending the next day, if you're anywhere near covering Michigan sports or anything with it. Anyone on radio, TV, anything is going to be talking about, all right, what can this Michigan team do now that we just saw it do this? We're, of course, going to talk a whole lot more about this and everything else that happens in the Big Ten tomorrow and every weekday on Locked On Big Ten. Make sure to make it your first listen of the day to stay up to date on everything going on in the conference every single weekday, Monday through Friday. Until then, I'm Nate Dickinson here with Locked On Big Ten.